The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, previously looking like one of the juggernauts in the NFC, now find themselves in a serious hole at wide receiver. Chris Godwin has likely been lost for the season after suffering a dislocated ankle in the Bucs' Monday Night Football loss to the Ravens. In the same game, they also lost Mike Evans for at least the next 3 weeks as he recovers from a hamstring injury. Now the offense looks to pick up the pieces with the playoffs still in mind. They expect Evans to potentially return after the team's Week 11 bye, but they'll be relying on others to step up, not just while Evans misses time, but in Godwin's permanent absence as well. And those are some big shoes to fill because Godwin was on pace for a career year prior to the injury. Trade rumors are swirling, and it's possible Tampa acquires a veteran in a deal. But in the meantime, the player who seems to have the inside track to replace Godwin is 2024 third-round pick Jalen McMillan. McMillan flashed right away with a 32-yard touchdown catch in his NFL debut in Week 1, but he hasn't done much since then. Of course, with guys like Evans and Godwin manning the starting receiver spots, it would be tough for anyone to get consistent playing time behind them. Now, though, McMillan has the potential to emerge as a regular contributor, and he appears to be the favorite over veteran Sterling Shepard to be the starting slot receiver simply because he was running as a full-time player for the first few weeks before missing a couple of games in weeks 4 and 5. He projected as a slot receiver in the pre-draft process, so if he soaks up the Godwin role, he'll be in an insanely valuable position to produce. McMillan became a full-time player at Washington in his second collegiate season, catching 39 passes for 470 yards and 3 touchdowns. He truly emerged in 2022, with 79 catches for 1,098 yards and 9 touchdowns in 13 games. He was hampered by injuries in the Hokies' run to the national championship game last year, but still managed 45 catches for 554 yards and 5 touchdowns in 11 games. It's fair to wonder if he had been drafted a bit higher had he been healthy, and he was also contending with the likes of Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk for opportunities. Still, Tampa made McMillan a third-round pick all the same, and now he looks likely to be a leading candidate for targets at least in the short term until Evans returns. Perhaps Tampa goes a little more run-heavy during this stretch without Evans as they navigate where to go from here, but they have games coming up against the Falcons, Chiefs, and 49ers. Baker Mayfield is going to have to continue airing it out. And with the team currently down to McMillan, Shepard, and Trey Palmer, McMillan is the only one of the group that was getting consistent playing time when Evans and Godwin were both healthy. It wouldn't be surprising to see him lead that group during this 3-week stretch leading up to the bye week. We can't possibly project better than wide receiver 3 upside in PPR leagues, but it's a wide open opportunity for increased volume. If you're hurting at wide receiver, especially if you have one or both of Evans and Godwin, McMillan is a natural option to turn to if you need to take a random shot at filling out your starting wide receiver spots.